There's a weird feeling happening in the MMORPG genre right now. A lot of modern MMOs look incredible on trailers, but once you actually get to play them, they start feeling the same. Autoplay, daily chores, over monetized systems, huge worlds that somehow feel empty, and games that feel designed more around keeping you logged in than actually making you feel immersed. That's why a lot of MMORPG fans are suddenly paying attention to Architect Land of Exile. Because unlike many modern MMOs chasing trends, Architect looks like it's trying to bring back something the genre has slowly been losing: adventure. And honestly, that's exciting. Now, if you've never heard of Architect Land of Exile before, this is a massive upcoming Korean MMORPG developed by Aqua3, a studio led by Park Byung-jin, one of the key developers behind major Korean MMO hits like Lineage 2 Revolution and Nino Kuni Crossworlds. The game immediately gained attention during G-Star because of its Unreal 5 visuals, seamless world design, and especially its movement systems. And that's where the game already starts separating itself from a lot of the current MMORPGs. Because Architect doesn't just want you standing in one spot auto-grinding mobs for 12 hours. This game heavily emphasizes traversal. Flying, rock climbing, swimming, vertical exploration. The world itself looks designed to be explored instead of just being a hallway between quest markers. And in today's MMORPG market, that matters more than people realize. Because one of the biggest criticisms players have with many modern MMOs is that they feel overly automated. Even games with gorgeous graphics sometimes end up feeling passive. We log in, hit autoplay, watch numbers go up, then log out. Now let's compare this to a game like Legend of Ymir, and to be clear, Legend of Ymir absolutely has strengths. The game has incredible Unreal Engine 5 visuals, large-scale server warfare, Norse mythology aesthetics, and cinematic combat. But the conversation around Ymir has also become heavily tied to monetization systems, Web3 mechanics, and concerns about whales dominating progression. And community discussions online constantly bring up having to worry about pay-to-win mechanics and server ownership systems. And that's a huge difference with Architect. The excitement around Architect isn't coming from blockchain systems or token economies, it's coming from the actual MMORPG experience itself. People are excited because the game looks immersive, and honestly, that alone makes it stand out. Another reason people are hyped is because Architect seems to understand what made older Korean MMORPGs special. Back then, MMORPGs weren't just games you played casually for 20 minutes. They felt like worlds you lived in. You explored dangerous zones with friends, you discovered hidden areas, you saw high-level players and got inspired. Guild rivalries mattered, movement through the world mattered. Architect seems built around recreating that feeling but with modern technology. And visually, this game looks absurdly ambitious. The lighting, environmental scale, weather effects, and open world presentation all scream AAA Korean MMORPG. But unlike some MMOs that focus purely on realism, Architect also seems to lean into fantasy spectacle. Gigantic towers, ruined civilizations, massive landscapes, a mysterious post-cataclysm setting. There's an actual sense of wonder here. And that's important because MMORPG players are craving worlds that feel memorable again, not just efficient. Now, another thing helping Architect build hype is timing. The MMORPG genre right now feels fragmented. Some people want old school social MMOs, others want action combat, others are tired of mobile first design, and some are completely burnt out from the aggressive monetization. Architect is entering at a moment where players are actively searching for the next MMO to believe in. And whether the game succeeds or not long term, that excitement is real. Especially in South Korea, where the game already generated major attention after its showcases. And honestly, one of the biggest signs that people care about Architect is how often players compare to the golden era of Korean MMORPGs. That's not something people say lightly. Because Korean MMO players have seen countless flashy MMOs come and go over the years. So when people start saying this feels different or this feels like a real MMORPG again, that's a huge compliment. Now, of course, we'll need to be realistic. A beautiful MMORPG trailer doesn't automatically guarantee a great game. We still need to see how monetization works, how progression feels, how PvP is balanced, how endgame systems are handled, and whether the game can avoid being another autoplay heavy grindfest. But at the very least, Architect Land of Exile feels like it's aiming for something bigger than just being another disposable MMO launch. It feels like a game trying to bring back immersion, exploration, and large-scale fantasy adventure. And in today's MMORPG landscape, that alone makes it one of the most exciting upcoming MMOs to watch. Because maybe, just maybe, Architect isn't trying to replace the MMORPG genre. Maybe it's trying to remind people why they fell in love with MMORPGs in the first place. For more content like this and other updates down the line, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.